Hey everyone, I'm Nicole,
And I'm Gabrielle.
and we are the hosts of the Spiritual Sisters podcast.
Join us every week as we discuss all the spiritual topics like astrology, mediumship, psychic insights, and so much more.
We are often joined by others we have met along our spiritual journey who are well versed in many of these areas.
Get ready for enlightening discussions and interviews and personal experiences that we hope will expand your mind and get you thinking outside of the box.
Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just beginning your spiritual journey, there's something here for everyone.
Check us out every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts. See you then.
Bye!
Hi, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Soul Ecosystem Podcast. I'm your host, Anna Rising, and on this podcast, we discuss all things soul contracts. I'm a soul contract reader, and I work with a modality that combines Jewish mysticism, astrology, tarot, and numerology to calculate what you agreed to incarnate here to do. Now, I usually do pick a cards once a month to get the energy of that month, but I haven't done that in a hot second. In fact, I haven't done a 2026 intuitive pick a card. So I felt that it was time. It was time. It's already March. This year has been going by so fast. And I feel like we're finally stabilizing in the fire horse energy of 2026 to the point where we can get an accurate reading on its energy. So before we go into picking a number with our intuition, with our heart, I did want to say I completely forgot about making an episode last Friday because I've been so busy making a soul contract course. So I feel like this is going to be my time to plug it. I've been so busy with it. It just completely slipped my mind. I remembered on Saturday that I didn't make an episode last week. So sorry about that. But if you were interested in learning how to calculate soul contracts, learning the numerology that goes into it, how to use the formula, to use the numbers in your date of birth to calculate a soul contract and learn how to read it, you can do so by going to soulspacecourse.teachable.com for my course called Soul Space. It is an introduction to soul contracts. It's going to tell you everything you need to know to get a very in-depth look at the world of soul contracts, how to calculate it, and how to use it to read people and their soul contracts. So without further ado, let us jump into the pick a card. Please choose a number with your heart, with your intuition between 1 and 3. And we are going to get into your prediction for the energy of 2026 and what it will bring for you. Now, I'm going to timestamp all of these groups, these 3 groups. So once you've picked your number, go to the group number associated with that number to get your 2026 prediction. We will start with group number 1. Group number 1, this is the card that I pulled for you, the Ace of Wands. From the deck, the Light Seers Tarot. This is one of my favorite decks of all time for the year of 2026. So 2026 is going to be a very big year for you. It's going to be full of ideas, full of creative sparks. You are going to start feeling like you are on fire for your mission again. Where before you may have felt like things have just been dragging along, you may have been feeling like you've been dragging your feet, trying to get out of the stagnancy that you've been experiencing. Just know that this has been preparing you for what you're about to step into, because we have the It's Time to Come Home card called Goddess of the Sea. And it's indicative of abundance, purification, ego, and then the portal. I got really excited about this. These 2 cards just flew out of my deck. I've never seen cards fly out of my deck before. So I'm like, okay, there's something special here, especially with the portal. You are going to be stepping into a completely different timeline. This is going to be something that's so unfamiliar, so completely, it feels like detached from your current reality that you're not going to know what to do with this. This is why you've been feeling so sluggish. This is why you've been feeling so drained, because in the background, your spirit has been humming. Like it's been humming like a backup generator or something. It's been doing so much work. It has been aligning you to every single, if I feel like I see a lot of like connect the dots in the sense of like a line of dots here, a line of dots here, and then a bunch of threads, and it feels like spirit has been putting like connecting them to the right place. It's been preparing this timeline for you. It's been preparing this path for you. So, where you feel like you've been falling behind, where you feel like you see other people meeting their milestones, meeting the things that you feel like you should be meeting at this point, it's been a long time of you kind of comparing yourself to others and feeling like you're behind, feeling like you're never going to get that perfect, like white picket fence life. And it's because that isn't what was meant for you. That was not your destiny. Your destiny was far greater. So if you think about it in the sense of when you see other people's path going from A to B to C to D, going in order, you feel like you have been stuck at A for such a long time. And it's very interesting that along with this portal card, it says, "Are you ready?" I know that probably says it backwards for you, but it's a very beautiful card. It's asking you if you are ready. You have been kind of reserving your energy. You've kind of been conserving it because it feels like you know that you're on the precipice of really great change, of something maybe that your nervous system might not have been able to handle, say a year ago, say 6 months ago. But now you're finally getting into a place where you're like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go. I feel like I'm so ready. We have that with this fire card. I feel like I'm so ready. I get what I need to do. I know where I'm going. I have a general idea of how I'm going to get there. But a lot of this part of this new timeline is about letting go of expectations. You are going to need to release the how you are going to get there. If you have any sort of idea in mind of how you're going to get successful, how you're going to come into a lot of money, release all of it because that is keeping you stuck. You're going to need to open your mind and really surrender to how the universe wants to present you with this blessing, how the universe wants to present you with the abundance that is supposed to come in for you. Because I feel like you feel this too. I feel like you know that you have been piling up a lot of good karma. You have been piling up a lot of good energy. And you have been asking yourself for a really long time, when is this going to happen for me? When am I going to start to see the benefits, the rewards from all of my hard work? And 2026 is when that is going to start coming in for you. It might not come in all at once. It might trickle in. Sorry, I had a cough attack for a second. It might trickle in slowly, but that is going to encourage you enough to be like, okay, I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I can see that I'm starting to get like feedback from it, feedback from the universe, where before it was deadpan silence. It was like you were getting nothing. Like essentially the universe was just telling you to wait, like wait this out, wait until we're in the perfect position for you to finally go. So think of it like, those wind up toys where they're wound up, you just got to lift the gate and then they're off. Or also now I'm seeing greyhounds. Think of it as the gates being lifted, greyhounds off to the races, right? They're just zooming. So it's that kind of energy. You've been held back for a reason, not because you were doing anything wrong and you have felt like you were doing things wrong. You have felt like you have gone completely off path and this is why it's not working out. You have been protected divinely to make sure that when this comes in for you, you aren't going to fall on your face because you just weren't ready for it. So there's this idea, are you ready? Are you ready for it to come in? Make sure that you have all your I's dotted, your T's crossed, because once this comes in for you, it's going to be happening very, very fast. Again, with this card, I just noticed this also has some kind of portal all the way in the heart center right here. I feel like feel like that's saying something a little bit about why it took so long for this to come in for you. There were some wounds, there was some healing that needed to be done, maybe some shadow work that needed to be done, where you had to heal your heart in order for it to be able to open big enough to accept what is coming in. Because maybe before you didn't think that you were worthy, maybe before you didn't think that this could be possible for you, maybe before you had yourself in a box and you're like, I can only go about this high, and then there's no other height that I can reach. So that's what's coming in for you. It feels very, very expansive. So get ready to start coming home, because this is a coming home to yourself. This is you finally stepping into your identity and knowing who you are authentically at your core, not really letting other people dictate what that can be. And people have a habit of doing that, especially when they see somebody that's very empowered in themselves, very sure of themselves. They have a habit of trying to say who they are, trying to dictate who they are. But that is not going to happen for you. You're not going to be affected by that anymore. A large part of this portal card is also going to be ancestors. So I have a feeling that that protection that you were receiving is coming from your ancestors, is coming from your lineage. This also tells me that this is likely a cycle breaker thing. You might be the first millionaire in your family, the first college graduate in your family, probably the eldest daughter vibe. So your ancestors are unusually on your side supporting you, because they're like, we are tired of pulling this cart. We are tired of pulling this dead weight. We haven't been able to clear all of this karma in our lifetime. We haven't been able to break these generational cycles in our lifetime, but you are the perfect person to do it. You naturally see these cycles and know what needs to be let go. You can see them for what they are. You can see how detrimental they are to your lineage. And you're one of those people that is like, I'm not going to bring this to my kids. I don't want my kids to grow up with the same mindset. I don't want my kids to be exposed to the kind of trauma, to the kind of pain that I experienced. So because of that, your ancestors are like, we got you. We're protecting you. We're going to make sure that you are supported in carrying this all the way out, because I have a feeling that you already have a connection with them. And in that way, they can show up even harder for you. You may already know what ancestor this is in particular that is helping you out. They might be a spirit guide of yours. But yes, so for the year of 2026, you are going to start to see great expansion, especially in your heart chakra. You're going to be able to hold more wealth, hold more abundance. And with your ability to hold more energy, hold more space for yourself, you're going to be experiencing the rewards that are coming in from all of the hard work, all of the healing that you've been putting into yourself. It has not been easy. You have likely felt like absolute crap in the entirety of 2025. But it is time to come home. You are stepping into who you forgot you were. You are letting go of all of the faces, all of the masks that you've had to wear up until this point. You are letting go of all of the projections that have been placed on you, expectations that have been placed on you, and really showing up as your truest self. With this Goddess of the Sea card, the words associated are abundance, purification, ego. This is very much an ego death. Again, feels like shadow work, ego death, where you have kind of accepted that you are going to let go of whatever rigid mentalities, whatever rigid thinking had you and your ancestors stuck in this place in the first place, in order to welcome in something far greater, far more expansive to both yourself and to your lineage. So think of this year as the year that you heal your ancestry. You heal not just your inner child, but your parents' inner child, your grandparents' inner child, this is going to reverberate throughout your lineage. This weight that you release is going to vibrate through your lineage, both backwards and forwards, into your ancestors and your kids. So while you have that going on in the background, where your ancestors, your spirit guides are working with you to bring you to the level that they know that you could be at, that you are ready to be at, you are going to be filled with a lot of creative ideas. Really nurture your creativity during this time. Pay attention to the kind of intuitive downloads you get, the kind of messages that you get. Write things down, especially when you have aha moments or like ideas for a business, like in the shower or when you're driving or when you're meditating. You are going to be a wealth of knowledge, is what I'm hearing when it comes to 2026. Get ready to finally feel like, okay, now I realize why I had to go through what I went through in order to arrive at this place, because you weren't ready for it before. You are ready for it now. You are going to be experiencing what you've been trying to call in 2026. That is all I have for you, group number 1. Let's move on to group number 2. Group number 2, you have a lot of yellow energy, a lot of bumbling bee kind of energy. You have some cards that have bees on it and sunflowers and dragonflies. Look at this. This is the Harmony card, Ease, Inner Child, Softness. This is very divine feminine. This is very like 3 energy, material, like success, luxury goods. Then we have the Servant Queen, Divine, Magnetic, Valuable. I'm trying to make sure like there's not a glare on it. There we go. And that's kind of what's going on in the background for you. Oh, we have the number 3 right there. See? Okay. 3 energy. Lastly, we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is walking towards success. This is walking towards material abundance. All good things. I feel like 2026 is going to be really profitable for you guys. Group number 2. And you're going to have to let it. I don't know why it feels like you're fighting it. It feels like you're one of the types of people to refuse gifts from people, or if somebody wants to pay for your coffee, or you know those things where like you stand in a Starbucks line. I feel like I haven't seen this done in a while, but the person in front of you pays for your drink and then you kind of pass it down. I feel like you're the type to refuse that. Maybe you'll accept it and like pass it down to the other person, but you're only accepting it because you're able to like give it back. So there's this level of needing to learn how to accept compliments, needing to learn how to accept gifts, needing to learn how to accept help. That is not happening right now, but this is what 2026 is going to be teaching you. So get ready to be blessed in a lot of ways, not just small little ways like Starbucks lines. I'm talking big ways. The more you have fun with this game, where you learn to accept the gifts of the universe, the bigger these gifts might get. You might stumble upon a lot of opportunities where you get either really, really lucky. I'm talking like crazy luck, like winning a car or a house, or I don't know. There's potential for that for you if you open this sunflower up enough. So that's how I'm seeing this for you. I'm seeing this as a literal like energy of the sunflower, and it's trying to bloom, it's trying to blossom for you. And the more you kind of let it illuminate you and accept its presence, accept that it's trying to be like, okay, like you don't have to work for everything you have. You don't have to struggle and grind. You can just accept things. It's asking for that divine feminine energy to come through a little bit more for you, where you understand that you're magnetic, and that you can attract things into your life. I can see the purchase of a house happen for you as well. And this feels aligned with the theme you have of accepting help It's possible that a parent might help you put a down payment down for a house, or you might receive a lot of help from external sources in order to be able to purchase your first house. So be prepared for that kind of energy to come in, like welcome it. Don't immediately, I feel like you're already like pushing back on it. You're like, okay, that's definitely not for me. It feels like the theme of 2026, and this is for group one as well, is openness. It doesn't matter so much how something comes in for you. Like, don't fixate on how it's going to come in, how you're going to get that money, how you're going to get that down payment. Just be open to it happening because it feels like it's very easily scared off, this energy. If you are going to fight it back even a little bit, it's easily scared and it's going to be like, okay, like you don't want it, I'll go find somebody who's ready for these kind of blessings. So if you want your life to be harder than it needs to be, then go ahead and say that, okay, like this is not for me, this is not going to happen for me. But if you want ridiculously amazing blessings to start popping up for you out of nowhere, just trust and be open to receiving that. There's something ancestral there for you. There's something there that you've been programmed from maybe a very early age. It kind of feels like this meekness kind of energy where it's like, no, 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 like I don't need it. Like give it to somebody that actually needs it. Give it to somebody that's worse off. But it's like the universe is like, I want to give it to you though. Like, why are you sending me away? I came up to you for a reason. Because on some level, you're asking for that help. But then as soon as it comes, it's like you're trying to show that you're the bigger person and you're like, you know what? No, like give it to somebody else. But you asked for it. That's why it's showing up. You are manifesting it. So you are able to attract it. You're able to have it show up for you. But as soon as it does, you're like, okay, no, I don't want it. So that's where you kind of have to cut that off. Even like in this card, he's walking away. He's walking away from the trail of money that is coming up for him. Like, girl, don't walk away from it. Why are you turning down free money? It is not your business if somebody needs it more. It's not your business. It came to you. It came to you for a reason. So don't feel guilty in spending it. Don't feel guilty in accepting it. Like, shut that down really fast because you are divine, you are magnetic, you are valuable. That is exactly why this energy feels comfortable showing up for you because you know how to access that. You just aren't accepting it for some reason. And that's weird. That's weird. I also feel like there's been a lot of work on your inner child. So yeah, definitely an ancestral thing. There was something that you were taught as an inner child, like no, there was something that you were taught as a child that made you kind of be overly generous, be afraid to enjoy things, be afraid to be greedy. You're like, I don't want to seem like I'm taking up all the toys or taking up all the snacks. And actually, my son is like this. He'll overshare. He's so generous. He will overshare his snacks. And it makes me feel bad because it's like, you don't have to say yes if you don't want to share. And okay, here we go. Maybe that's what you were taught as a kid. Even if you didn't want to share with somebody, you still had to. You had to share with your siblings. You had to share the toy that you didn't want to share. You had to share the, I don't know, bathrobe. Why did bathrobe pop up? That's random. But you were oversharing. You were sharing too much. So it's time to draw up some boundaries here and be like, you know what? No, I deserve nice things too. I deserve to experience pleasure. I deserve to experience good things coming in for me because you're kind of cutting yourself out from that. And I'm not sure why you're doing that. I feel like it's not with everything because there have been some moments where you're like, okay, yeah, like I'll take that free coffee. Go ahead. And other times it's like, no thanks. So that's the message there for you. I mean, for a year ahead reading, this is pretty good. This is a pretty good place to be in when it comes to 2026. It feels like there's very little lack mentality, like you know that this kind of stuff is available for you. You just got to get into that queen energy and be like, of course you are coming to me with this. Of course I will gladly accept this gift. So get ready for that. That is coming in for you. The more you tune into that openness state of receiving and being grateful for the blessings that are coming in for you, the more it's going to show up. You're going to see it everywhere. So that is the message I have for you, number 2. That is a very light one. I feel like that is just shining 3 energy and luck energy all over the place. So good for you. We are going to move on to group number 3. Group number 3, you guys are special. And I don't mean that in a bad way if you took that in a bad way. I mean, there's something different going on here for you. 2026 feels like it is the end of a very, very tumultuous cycle. I feel like it's either that you're coming out of a really bad relationship or you are coming out of something very toxic that you were doing to yourself. Because we have the devil card here flipped upside down. This is freedom. Freedom from addictions. Addictions manifest in various forms. Sometimes it can be an addiction to relationships, an addiction to being with someone, addiction for attention. This could be an addiction towards approval or validation and feeling like you need other people to validate you, feeling like you need somebody else's approval to say that you deserve to take up space, that you deserve to be here. Either way, this card came flying out so fast. And it feels like this death. It's almost like this, oh my goodness, what is it called? Not ego death, this tower moment, dark night of the soul that you went through. It feels like you're out of it. You're out of it. So if you're thinking that you're coming into 2026 with this energy, you are not. 2026 is bringing in something very different for you because you've passed the test, because you managed to free yourself from that situation where there was no growth possible for you. You were so intoxicated, I'm hearing, by this thing that was entrapping you that you couldn't develop. It's as if somebody took a flower and just stuffed it into a bag and was like expecting it to grow, but it's in darkness. It can't grow. There's no room to grow. So you had to kind of get out of it, be put back into the outside, back into the sunlight where you can actually flourish, thrive, blossom, and bloom. So that is behind you. That is behind you. This is what is present for you. We have the Chariot card. This is a very fast-moving energy. And to go from the devil energy to the chariot energy is some wild work. This means like whatever you needed to learn, you have mastered. You have mastered it. You're coming out of this abusive relationship or out of this maybe toxic environment, just completely like zen. You know what you need to do. You don't take crap from anybody anymore. Like you are very in your power, sure of yourself. And you are flying in the right direction. If you ask for a sign, asking like, am I on the right path? You are on the right path and you're absolutely blazing through levels. If this was a video game, you have found like some cheat code that gets you to the like 10th level when you were just at level 1. So you are absolutely blazing through what it is that you need to be doing because this release that you experienced up-leveled you in such a huge way. In the background for you, I don't know why, but it's like, I feel like my throat chakra is like acting up right now. So whatever it was that happened definitely took your voice away. It felt like you weren't allowed to express your opinion or your thoughts, which again, feels like an abusive situation, feels like an abusive relationship. And you might have been abusive to yourself. You might have not let yourself face what it is that you needed to face for a very long time. And if you were like abusive to yourself, like give yourself grace for that, because when you're raised in a toxic environment, like your inner thoughts, your head is filled with the voices of the people that raised you and the kind of stuff that they would say about you, about other people. I heard this somewhere. Somebody said that the way you talk to yourself in your head is how your parents talked about other people in front of you. And that was like, okay, that's a big thing. So this is what is happening in the background for you. We have the eternal center. This is protection. This is guru. This is peace. It feels like you have attained inner peace. It feels like you are at peace with what has transpired. You are at peace, even though you went through a lot of pain. I'm feeling, even though you went through a doozy, like a real crap storm, you have been through the ringer. You are coming out of this at peace. You have made, I don't want to say amends, because I feel like people need to make amends with you for how they treated you. But you're kind of like, okay, like, I understand that you might not ever get to a place where you apologize to me, but I'm going to do what's best for me. I'm going to heal from that. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to forgive you so that I can move on. Not because they deserve your forgiveness. And you don't need to actually tell them, hey, I forgive you, because I don't think that they'd be accepting of it in the first place. But you have learned how to not be completely at the beck and call, or maybe completely at the will of external forces. Like, you have found a way to still remain centered in yourself. You have found a way to still remain at peace within yourself, despite all of the craziness that might be happening on the outside. And that's what this card is showing for us here. It says, there's a place within me. And then it keeps repeating that over and over again. Still, calm, steady, eternal. So yeah, you're like a guru. Like, you mastered the hell out of this lesson. There is a little warning about the future. I feel like you're going to be able to tackle this, but something's coming up for you in 2026 with the Five of Swords. And it talks about experiencing some kind of loss, experiencing some kind of conflict. It feels like it's kind of like the aftershock of whatever happened with this relationship or this situation that you had. It might come back to test you and be like, let's see if we can get her back into this energy and trap her one more time. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Be sure to still make sure that you are regularly practicing coming back to yourself, like coming back to your heart space and living soul-led, living heart-led, not ego-led. Because this is going to be like the final time they try to sneak another kind of trap in, where you might either go back to this person. So if this was a relationship, this ex might reach back out to you and tell you all the things that you want to hear. I've changed, I've done this and this and this, I went to therapy. This is going to make sure that, like, you learned your lesson, right? We don't need to go through this again, right? So be on the lookout for that. Remember me saying that that is coming for you in 2026. It feels like it's going to be coming in the next 4 to 5 months. So summertime, end of summertime. You don't want to be stressing out like this guy. You want to be the person that conquered the mountain and is still like on the mountain. We don't need to revisit the mountain. We don't need to climb down that mountain to climb back up it again, because that was extremely painful. Jesus. Okay. I see like blood on this mountain. You fought tooth and nail to get up onto that mountain. You fought really, really hard. And now you're at the tippity top. Like, you see the northern lights. You You see the light. You see what your life could be like without this person dragging you down, without like the situation stuffing you into a bag and being like, grow, evolve, like be better. You cannot flourish in an environment that's toxic. You cannot succeed in an environment that's toxic. So don't do that. Don't go back. You are perfectly capable to be successful on your own. You don't need them. You are perfectly capable of being a guru and really staying in your peace and being protected there. You are protected there. You are safe there. So I feel like after that test is completed, after you successfully turn that down and be like, you know what, I don't want to hop right back in to what I just crawled out of. I crawled through hell and back to get out of the situation. This could also manifest as a relationship. This could manifest as somebody new coming in, but they're carrying the same energy as what you just escaped. So if somebody comes around summertime, end of summertime, and you start seeing like little red flags, you start seeing similarities, even just in the mannerisms of this person, be very, very aware of that and shut it down really quick, because you fought tooth and nail to get out of that situation. I'm going to show you guys the blood on this mountain. You fought so hard to get out of here. Don't go right back in. Don't buy the promises. You need action. You need people that are going to show up for you. You need people that are going to follow through on what they say they're going to do, instead of just be like, oh yeah, like we're going to build a family and I'm going to buy us a house. But do it. Go ahead. Do it. So that is all I have for you, group number 4. Wait, whoa, no. That is all I have for you, group number 3. Why did I just give myself an extra group? That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you guys wanted to hop into my soul contract course, Soul Space, you can do so by going to soulspacecourse.teachable.com. If you wanted to purchase a soul contract reading from me, you can do so by going to thesoulecosystem.com. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys next Friday. Have a great weekend.